Hi guys, it is Dani and welcome to this update video. So I really do hope you're having a fantastic Saturday thus far. So we're going to be talking about what is going on in the realm of weather, but first I want to focus on an earthquake. So earlier today, this morning at approximately 9:50 a.m. Eastern, there was a pretty sizable earthquake, magnitude 6.0. This happened well offshore Barbuda and to the northeast of Antigua. So we can see right here on this graphic where the epicenter is depicted. And it likely have been felt across not just these two islands, but many other islands of the Eastern Caribbean. Let me know if you felt it. So the strongest shaking would have been felt here at the epicenter of the earthquake. And the epicenter, that's basically the point just above what is called the focus. That is inside Earth now, where the earthquake actually starts. So just above that point on the surface is the epicenter, and it is depicted on this graphic here. So we've got the focus that is internal, and then just above the focus on the actual surface of Earth, that is the epicenter. So yes, that earthquake happened, and if this happened, fortunately it didn't hit land directly. So if it was a case though where it did, based on this magnitude as stated down here, there could have been damage to poorly made buildings. So this was a pretty sizable earthquake, not a very deep one, and the more shallow an earthquake is, the more violently it would have been felt. So that happened, and also there was another earthquake. This one happened last night or very early this morning, if I'm not mistaken. This one closer, much closer to the island of Barbuda, and it was a magnitude 3.6 earthquake. So that one is not very weak, kind of going to moderate, but still sort of weak, not the type to do any significant type of damage. But that could have been, most likely was a foreshock of the earthquake that happened earlier this morning. So again, let me know if you felt it. And then of course there are always some tips on what to do, just as a reminder, because earthquakes are unpredictable. They can happen at literally any time. You could be doing anything and an earthquake happens. So before an earthquake, run towards the exit and assemble at a safe space. So that's kind of during an earthquake. But yes, and you should also know where the fire extinguishers are and use it when required. So if there's a fire, you should know where that is and to take immediate action, and also to keep emergency kits handy with all the equipment which might be required. And then this right here under during the earthquake, keep the calm. That is very important. A lot of us will panic when an earthquake actually starts, when the shaking starts, and that can actually allow you to rush into danger. So that is one of the most important things, to try to stay as calm as possible, and when inside, drop cover and hold on, and hold under a safe shelter. And then if it is a case where you're outside, move away from buildings to an open space. So any buildings, trees, power lines, you want to move away from those, get to the nearest open, safe spot after an earthquake now. So while exiting buildings, avoid elevators and use the stairs. If you have to evacuate your home, then leave a message stating where you are going and carry an emergency kit. And then, of course, to get updates from local authorities. So these are just some tips to, pretty much reiterate what to do when an earthquake happens. So please continue to stay safe, everyone. And we're going to be delving into the realm of weather. So we're looking at a surface chart here. This is showing the different atmospheric features. And we've got a tropical wave extending in the Caribbean, but this wave is not really sustaining any activity at the moment because of the surplus of dry air. Another one, this one is getting gradually closer and closer to northern South America, not sustaining any major activity right now. So if you go back on this satellite imagery here, notice we don't see a whole lot in the Caribbean, just a few thunderstorms that may be popping up in this area here. We see those white dots, which are indicative of lightning strikes. So there's lots of dry air that's helping to keep things calm. So the rainfall is pretty limited in the Caribbean at the moment. And then going on to the rainfall forecast over the next day, this is what is expected. So there is a frontal system already influencing lots of rain for sections of the Bahamas. That is likely to continue. So there could be additional periods of heavy downpours at times. In sections of Cuba, things may also get a bit active. Few scattered showers for the Turks and Caicos. Headed to the Cayman Islands, rainfall will be limited for sure. Jamaica, a couple spots could experience some downpours. Nothing very widespread across many places. Headed towards Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, just a few scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. Few passing showers likely across the Lesser Antilles, and rain chance will also be low for the ABC Islands. As we head to northern South America, lots of color here. So additional periods of heavy rain will be likely for sure in sections of Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. Also headed towards Venezuela, Colombia, and parts of Central America, Panama, upward through Nicaragua, and even some of the eastern sections of Honduras. There could definitely be some passing showers for Belize, the offshore islands, El Salvador, Guatemala, and further towards the western section of Honduras as well. So that is what is expected in terms of rainfall activity. And as I mentioned, there's a surplus of dry air. So as we take a look at this graphic, this is our dry air map. And as we see more of, especially those oranges and reds, that is indicating areas of more dense or a surplus of dry air. So we can see that in the tropical Atlantic, so between the coast of Africa, all the way towards the Lesser Antilles, lots of dry air around. This is helping to limit associated shower and thunderstorm activity with the tropical waves. So it's making them struggle, which is not something weird to see early on in the season at all. Tropical waves are normally fairly weak. And then in the Caribbean itself, you've definitely got quite a bit of dry air going to the Gulf. And notice that in this area here, where we don't have a lot of dry air due to that frontal system, there's actually a lot of atmospheric instability, which is fueling shower and thunderstorm development. And that's depicted here on the graphic. So it shows how much a little break in all that dry air, and with a low pressure system around, how much it can actually influence that rainfall activity. So that's what we have going on, guys. Just wanted to give you that update in relation to the earthquake and also short-term weather activity. So I trust and hope you found this video to be informative. If you have any questions though, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll get to you when I can. And remember to always be weather-wise.